On Elektro Vox at the moment, we have Puppet Master, who is Priest, and this will be their first video interview. So thank you for joining us.
Nice to be here. Nice to have you. I'm the Puppet Master. I'm the entity that directs the way Priest goes. But we're also a collection of minds doing it together. So it's not just one man or one mind intertwining several minds.
Okay, so we were lucky enough to see you play Etropolis Festival in Germany.
Did?
Yeah, in March.
Yeah.
And thoroughly enjoyed it. Have you found touring in the UK good so far? And are you looking forward to going back to Germany on the next leg of the tour?
This was our first time in the UK, and we had a really great reception. People were singing along with the lyrics. Of course, it's coming out of Sweden. We have a tradition of melodies, as you do in the UK. You take your pop music very seriously, and as do we. So it's really nice to meet the audience, an audience that have the same type of mindset that you're used to in Sweden also. So it's difficult because you have high expectations of that kind of music, and it's nice to see the reception and see that so far you like it, and I hope for tonight in London that we will continue that curve up.
Yeah.
And we would love to go back to Germany as well too, because it's a big market for us. We're starting to grow there quite a lot, and we love UK, and we would love to come back and maybe do bigger places.
Yeah, hopefully.
Now.
For those who are not quite familiar with your band, because obviously Priest is quite new technically, how would you describe your sound to people?
The first record was obviously a memory lane record to what we loved and grew up with, movies from the 80s, the sounds from the 80s, the synthesizers, the bands, the whole culture, the new romantic era. We tried to just do it the way it should be done with the old. We tried to get the old synthesizer to make that sound, but of course, doing it in 2017, you get a more modern touch to it. Because you don't have the same equipment all in all. You don't do recording on tape, you record on computers and stuff like that.
Yeah, so trying to get that sound is...
But then transcended a little bit into the 90s, then with Obey, the recently released EP, we tried to get more into the 90s. So the next record will be a more modern type. So I don't know if we have a sound. We try to get old sounds and mash them together and try to present it. Try to take the stuff we love and remodel it and represent it.
Yeah. So obviously the band has a wonderful BDSM look to it, especially in the new video Obey.
Yeah.
So what influences your unique style, and what is the theme of Priest?
For this leather masked BDSM thing, it was an image that was very powerful. I think the mask of the singer, Mercury, is a very powerful look. And of course, we're fans of movies like Hellraiser, stuff like that. So we try to get that look somewhat, as we do with the music. We take old stuff, try to remodel it. And one of the members lived in Berlin back in 2011, and we're looking for a typical image. And of course, as you know, in Berlin, there's many clubs, places you can go to and experience this kind of culture that maybe not many people have the opportunity to do. And something happened, a spark happened there, and also doing the mask thing, you don't want to copy directly from another band maybe, so you want to go a little further on the side, and this image was a powerful one, so we choose that one. We're going for a new mask design in the next record, and that's going to be very different, but still very cool.
Being quite unique as a band, I noticed that you were selling a unisex fragrance at Etropolis. Can fans expect any more merchandise soon?
Yeah, at the moment we had some difficulties with the printing and stuff like that, so we're gonna get more merch into Germany. We wanted to bring more here to the UK. The fragrance was a really nice idea, and we really love it. We haven't seen so many fragrances except from like Britney Spears and stuff like that, but the bands doing their own perfume. I think it's a more luxury item, and it's more connected with fashion, as we also a way that we want to go in the future as well. So
Yeah. Okay.
that's but of course you can expect more merchandise items of different kinds in the future.
The new Flesh album in 2017 had a lot of brilliant tracks on it, which
Thank you.
your fans obviously have got to know really well, and the Obey EP was also really good.
Thanks.
Can your fans expect any new albums in the works?
Yeah, as soon as we come home from this tour, get home from the European tour with Aesthetic Perfection and Amelia Arsetic, which is a great artist, we're gonna start recording directly when we come home. But of course it takes certainly a couple of months to finish the record. Then after that it takes a couple of months, like 3 more months or something. Then you can set a date for the vinyl pressing and everything. So I would say early 2020, if I'm not just optimistic, but if I'm realistic, I think around there you will get a new full-length album, and we can start a new album cycle.
Priest is very clearly a talented band, and you've got a lot of experience behind you. Can you tell us anything about your musical history before Priest?
Yeah, of course. Many of the members have played in different bands, pop bands, hard rock bands, also synth acts before, and this was the time to get it all together and mash it together. Now we recently had some troubles with the lineup changes, in technical terms, upgrade or do some other modifying. Some stuff was needed to happen, some stuff was unforeseen and very sad. So now we're actually dealing with assembling the band back together to be a strong unit again. So we are in the middle of a frail situation right now, which we, with this tour, feel more and more that we getting back now. And we look very optimistic on the future and the new album as well.
Have you learned any life lessons so far from putting Priest together?
Many, and one of the biggest ones is if you're going to work with people, make sure that you have the bond of trust going, and the bond of respect. Without that, it can't be any good in longer amount of time. So
yeah, there's no foundation to it.
So it's that's the biggest lessons. It's too obvious stuff, but make sure that you trust each other and respect each other.
Okay.
From the beginning.
So what, so far for you, are some of the best parts of working in the industrial scene and some of the worst parts?
Best parts, or shall we begin with the worst? Best? No, I think it's fun. It's a scene that I've been interested in for a very long time, and always found it very fascinating. And it was something with it that I couldn't grasp. It was technology based, and I'm started out as a more like a player of bass and guitar and more organic instruments. So I always had this dream to do an electronic industrial EBM-ish band. So it was a lot of stuff to wrap your head around, and you have more control over everything you do and the sounds. So that's the good part, and it's a lot of good bands, of course. It's a smaller scene, so we really had the opportunity to support Nicer Ebb 2 times in Sweden already. So it's like a dream come true very early on in our career. Worst parts is technology. We can have some troubles with technology, and it's sometimes difficult to make everything work. All the chords you have to put together and make everything work. It's can be a little sweaty sometimes. And of course it's a smaller scene. We try to do our own thing to go back in time and reboot some stuff that we love with it, because in every scene comes to a certain point when stuff starting to sound alike, and to use a really bad word, it happened in hard rock as well. It gets a little perverted, you're rerunning it and it's getting more extreme, and then nobody knows exactly what you're like. You're trying to get a sound. So at that point, it's nicer to like reboot. As in another rock band I played in before, there was like okay, they looked at metal. And said, okay, how do we do this from the beginning? I wasn't part of the band at that time, just to make it clear. But then obviously the first record was retro sounding, like early 80s, late 70s-ish band. So we try to do the same thing with Priest here.
Finally, is there anything you'd like to say to the fans you've already played for and will play to in the future?
Have faith, and we're here to entertain. It's about entertainment in the end, and we want to do it with a slightly therapeutic view also. So if you want to dig deeper, there's going to be a lot for you to fight underneath if you turn the stones. And we want to be mysterious, but we have a depth to us. It's not only a gimmick. It's if you dare get a few chapters in also and have faith and stay with us, you're gonna have a good payoff, and that we can promise.
Okay. Well, thank you very much, Puppet Master, for joining us. And
thank you.
Looking forward to seeing you.
Yeah, yes, thank you.
Okay.
Looking forward to playing.
Thank you.